Let's talk about the United Kingdom, my home, the land of Shakespeare, the Beatles, and queuing for everything. But lately the headlines are grim. NHS waiting lists at record highs, supermarket shelves empty, and potholes you could lose a car in. Meanwhile, Poland's headlines are all about growth. Europe's largest EV battery factory, record stock market highs, booming tech startups. While Britain debates sandwich storage, Poland is building the future. This isn't just a bad week for Britain or a lucky streak for Poland. These headlines reveal a deeper, decades-long shift. One country, a former empire, is struggling to adapt. The other, shaped by hardship, is surging forward. Think of the UK as a faded rock band living off old hits, while Poland is the breakout new artist topping the charts. The contrast is stark. The old guard looks tired. The newcomer is full of energy. How did we get here? The answer involves empire, communism, a financial crash, and one very messy divorce. Let's dig in. To understand Britain's troubles, look back. The UK's wealth was built on empire, with London as its financial heart. When the empire faded, Britain was left with aging industry and a service-heavy economy. In 2004, EU expansion brought a wave of hard-working migrants, especially from Poland, who became the secret ingredient keeping the economy running. This influx masked the UK's lack of investment in skills, technology, and infrastructure. Why automate when cheap labor was available? It was a short-term fix for a long-term problem. The GDP looked fine, but the foundations were weak. London thrived, while much of the country was left behind. Then came Brexit. The 2016 vote was, in part, a backlash against this system. But leaving the EU cut off the very labor supply Britain depended on. European workers left, and the cracks burst open: shortages, delays, and rising costs. The UK's reliance on imported labor had hidden its deeper economic rot. Now, the consequences are impossible to ignore. The service economy is exposed, and the country is struggling to adapt. The glitter of London can't hide the growing divide. Britain's old model is running out of road. Poland's story starts in hardship, decades behind the Iron Curtain, with a broken, centrally planned economy. The fall of communism in 1989 brought hope, but also brutal economic shock therapy. Factories closed, unemployment soared, but a hunger for success was born. Joining the EU in 2004 was the turning point. Suddenly, Poland had access to markets and billions in EU funds. Unlike others, Poland invested wisely. New roads, modern railways, tech parks. Foreign investment poured in, drawn by skilled workers and new infrastructure. Cities like Wrocław and Kraków transformed into innovation hubs. Poland wasn't just catching up, it was leapfrogging older, complacent neighbors. The pain of the 1990s forged a drive to build a modern, resilient economy. While the UK let old industries fade, Poland built new ones. The groundwork for a leap forward was set. Poland's progress was hard-won, and it's paying off. Here's where the paths split. The UK bet everything on finance, making London a global money hub. This made some rich, but left the economy dangerously unbalanced and overly dependent on one sector. Manufacturing and regional growth were neglected. Poland, lacking a financial center, focused on making things, becoming a powerhouse in manufacturing, from appliances to EV batteries. Its growth was spread across the country, not just one city. The 2008 financial crisis hit the UK hard: bank bailouts, recession, and years of austerity. Poland, with its diversified economy, was the only EU country to avoid recession in 2009. While London's banks wobbled, Poland's factories kept exporting, especially to Germany. Rising wages kept its domestic market strong. The crisis validated Poland's strategy: real industry over financial speculation. The UK's over-reliance on finance left it exposed. Poland's broad industrial base proved resilient. The lesson: diversity beats dependence. Brexit was meant to take back control, but it triggered economic chaos, trade barriers, red tape, and a mass exodus of EU workers. Suddenly, Britain faced shortages everywhere: drivers, farm workers, hospitality staff. The flexible European labor market was gone overnight. But for Poland, this was an unexpected gift. Years of brain drain reversed. Skilled Poles returned home, bringing experience, ideas, and capital. These returnees didn't just fill jobs, they created them, launching startups and modernizing businesses. The brain gain supercharged Poland's economy. Brexit, meant to strengthen Britain, ended up boosting its rival. The UK trained a generation, then sent them home to compete. A strategic own goal for Britain. For Poland, it was a windfall. The return of skilled Poles sparked more than economic growth. It changed the national mindset. For years, success meant leaving Poland. Now, it means coming home. The tech scene is booming. Warsaw, Krakow, and Gdansk are alive with startups and innovation. Returnees brought global experience, networks, and ambition. Polish companies are now creators, not just outsourcers. Think CD Projekt Red and The Witcher. Cities are vibrant, cosmopolitan, and full of new energy. The diaspora brought a taste for global culture, transforming urban life. Quality of life is rising, making Poland even more attractive. Meanwhile, the UK faces a skills gap and a loss of multicultural dynamism. The flow of talent has reversed from west to east. Poland is optimistic and forward-looking. Britain is searching for momentum. Poland's rise isn't guaranteed. Big challenges remain. The middle-income trap looms, moving from making things for others to innovating for itself. Poland must invest in R&D, universities, and homegrown brands. It needs a culture of risk-taking and entrepreneurship. Relying on foreign-owned factories won't create lasting wealth. Demographics are another threat. An aging, shrinking population strains the economy. Boosting productivity, supporting families, and maybe even welcoming immigrants will be crucial. The return of some Poles helps, but isn't enough. Poland's next leap will require vision and determination. The hardest battles are still ahead. The surge has been impressive, but sustaining it will be even harder. Poland's story is far from over. The UK faces its own crossroads. It must rebuild its relationship with Europe. High trade barriers and political friction are unsustainable. Chronic underinvestment has left infrastructure and public services crumbling. Britain needs a massive long-term investment plan: modern transport, green energy, new housing. The London obsession must end. Real leveling up means empowering regions and investing outside the capital. Old industrial towns need to become hubs for green tech and advanced manufacturing, as Poland has done. The UK must decide what it wants to excel at: life sciences, AI, green energy. Right now, there's no clear strategy. Without a focused plan, Britain risks stagnation and decline. The talent exists. It just needs opportunity and vision. The time for drift is over. In 2025, Europe's map is being redrawn, not by armies, but by economics. The old hierarchy is fading. Poland's rise is no accident. Strategic investment and resilience are paying off, while complacency is punished. For developing nations, Poland is a new blueprint. For the West, a wake-up call. Prosperity isn't a birthright. It must be earned again and again. The UK's struggles warn against resting on past glories and cutting off partners. Poland still faces big hurdles, and the UK has assets for a comeback, if it finds the will to change. The future isn't set for either nation. Their choices now will shape Europe's next chapter. The center of gravity is shifting east. The old order is being shaken. New powers are rising. The story of the UK and Poland is a preview of Europe's future, and it's going to be one hell of a show.